views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail. Wow, everybody, welcome. It's so great to be connecting with all of you. Thank you for tuning in and turning us on. It is an awesome day here at the Dr. Pat Show. First and foremost, I just want to say, our hearts go out to the people that are literally battling the flood zone on the East Coast. I mean, if any of you have ever heard me talk about my family, you'll know that this area that is being affected is a part of the area where on my mom's side we grew up and visited quite often. And, just our hearts go out to them. We know what it's like to be, in tragedy and how communities pull together. So thank you so much for all of your support around that. We've got a show today that's going to really help brighten this up. I'm so thrilled to be introducing you to somebody who hosts a fabulous show. You ready? You ready for this, Benny? Shine on Radio with Kelly. Find your shine. This is what I love. And I have said this a million times, and I am going to say it again. 13 years ago, Benny's like, oh, here she goes. She's going to do it again. One more time with the 13-year story. 13 years ago, there were five of us. I went back and I counted this, by the way, Benny. There were 5 of us out on the planet, and I wish, I was not the first. No, I was not the first. I think my friend Brenda Michaels, Rob and Brenda, I don't know if they're Rob and Brenda Michaels. I know it's Brenda Michaels, but Conscious Talk in the morning over there.
Brenda Michaels and Rob Spears.
Thank you. I didn't think it was Michaels. I'll tell you what, those folks dug their heels in and did what I did. They bought airtime. And what does that mean for those of you listening? Back in the day, and still today, the way to do shows like this means that you go to a station like KKNW and WBOQ and Happy Birthday, Brian, and you buy airtime because these stations actually still make it affordable for many of us to buy airtime so we can bring you this. But here we go today, in a world where they probably were giving Brenda less time than me and said, boy, forget about 13 years. We're going to give you about 13 minutes. You're going to have 13 minutes. Then that's how long this kind of story, conversation, talk radio is going to last. Guess what? They were wrong. Not only were they wrong about that, but they were wrong about the demographic. The demographic finally are people that are affluent, intelligent, you all as listeners, and you want to shine. That's it. And those of you out there, remember the first show was called Crust Busting Your Way to an Awesome Life. And by the way, crust busting is back. Go to crustbusting.com, check it out. But here, let's fast forward. Now I get to chat with people like Kelly Wadler joining me here today, who has got a vision and a mission and a passion to come up out into the world and create a movement, a Shine On movement. And I love it. And I really thank everybody that I got to stand on the shoulders of so that we can bring this to you. You're going to hear about Kelly's story. You're going to hear about a fabulous radio show. And by the way, she's giving away today on the show, 5-day, I love this, Body Love Reboot. I love this. Wait till you hear what this is. But first and foremost, who is this amazing woman. Who is she? Well, coming soon, Shine on Radio, Find Your Shine, of course. But this is somebody that celebrates what makes you you. She's not trying to redo you. She's not trying to resculpt you. She's not trying to change you up for a newer model. She's saying you are the love. And this is what the show is about today. How can you be brilliant? Love your body. Love your reflection in the mirror. Love yourself from the inside out and shine on with Kelly. Kelly, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. What an honor and what an intro. I'm pinching myself that I'm even here right now and getting to talk to you and your amazing audience of people and viewers. And Benny, you too.
Oh, thank you.
Well, part of this is that, we've been doing this a while and I love it. And from out of the gate, we came out of the gate with the message that was, you don't have to live the life of despair. You don't have to. And look at you. You are the founder of the Shine On movement. I want to start out by this question, Kelly. This is a question I've been asking for 13 years. Here I am. I just gave a little snippet of who you are and what you do, not even touching the surface, okay? But here's what I want to ask you about. What are some of the obstacles? What are some of the challenges? What are they that you personally have had to overcome to bring you to this very moment?
Wow. Well, a question that holds a lot of weight, huh? Well, I would say that, right? Yeah. We all have a story that has our challenges involved. And for me, I have to say that most of them were tied with a big insecurity of who I was. And that was directly correlated with how I felt in my own skin, how I felt about my body, how I felt about the way I looked, and and how I took care of myself. And it all was a ripple effect of not so positive things in the way I was taking care of myself in my late teens, early 20s. But I could describe it as a war, or so it felt, against my body. Just feeling really outside of it, not knowing what it needed, blaming it for everything, every sort of problem in my life I blame my body about. If I wasn't getting attention from that cute guy, oh, it's my body. If I didn't land that role because I was involved in the arts, oh, it's my body's fault. And little did I know, and what I realize now, my body is the best gift I have ever owned and will ever own. And that took a journey of a lot of self-work and aha moments and overcoming some of those bully brain thoughts that I like to call them about how I felt about myself and the skin I was in.
Wow. I mean, it's part of this, especially being involved in the arts, right? Where there is the degree of comparison that people have with each other and judgment that goes far beyond anything that any of us can even think about. And so it's no surprise that you're talking with us today about, the Shine On movement. Tell us a bit about what the Shine On movement is.
Yeah. Well, I like to describe the movement as a celebration of people feeling or celebrating that the skin that they're in, feeling healthy and happy in the body that they own, and loving who they are. So, yeah, I did start in that arts field where I loved to shine on stage and in the arts, and that feeling that we all have, that sometimes people in the arts get when they're on a stage, of that natural, beautiful high of expressing who you are, is similar feeling that this company represents, even if you're not on a stage. We all live on our own life stage, and it's all about shining in your own life on this stage that you call life, right? So that's the feeling, and the mission is a company that helps people celebrate the skin that they're in, essentially.
So, for us looking at this is really taking out a message into the world and asking ourselves, what is it that we are called to do? What are some of the things that we're called to do? And, you have taken your challenges in life and turned them into a movement. Part of this is understanding, what fuels us? How does this work? Right now, and you and I know this, we are at epidemic stages with obesity in this country. And many people believe or would want us to believe that it has to do with cornstarch in all of our food. Maybe it is, but it's not just that. Some folks say that there's a direct correlation between the level of stress that we have experienced in the past 8 to 10 years and obesity. What do you think?
Great question. And recently someone asked me the same thing after a reaction to a YouTube video went up that was pretty much completely criticizing obese people and blaming them for all these things. Now, yes, I would say that there is a huge correlation to the standard American diet and obesity rates, but obesity also comes from, besides lack of education about food, there's such an emotional tie to food. And I know that to be very true for myself and very true to most of my clients who come and see me, which is, without even realizing it, before anyone knows what emotional eating is, if you're coming home after your work day and all you can think about is, opening the pantry and shoveling it down, it's really a question sometimes when it comes to obesity or any sort of not healthy relationship to food is, what am I really hungry for? And sometimes food is a quick fix for what we're really hungry for, which might be, I'm stressed out at work and I need to reevaluate what I'm doing at my job, or I'm in a crappy relationship and I need to get out of that. And sometimes our relationship to food is more so fixing those components rather than what we're actually putting in our mouth.
Yeah, wow, we've got so much to talk about. For those of you out there, we've got questions, answers, and much more today on the show. Joining me here today is the host of Shine On Radio, Kelly Wadler, joining me here. Find your shine. Guess what? When we come back, we're going to be talking about emotional eating. What does that mean? And how do we help women become more confident in their skin? That and much more. We're going to tell you about the start of Kelly's show. And when we come back, we've got a super giveaway for all of you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the show.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
The Women of Wisdom Fall Harvest Festival is coming up right around the corner on October 24th from 10:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. with free admission located at the North Seattle Community College in the Conference Center. Festivities include a silent auction, healers, educational booths, delicious food, and a variety of vendors. You won't want to miss this fun-filled event. For more information, visit womenofwisdom.org and we'll see you there. A morning filled with dynamic, inspirational music, spirituality, and uplifting messages by TJ Woodward. Come and connect with community conversations and awaken your senses. Awakened Living Sundays with TJ Woodward. Join TJ every Sunday in the San Francisco Bay Area Chapel at Fort Mason and live streaming online 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Pacific Time. To learn more and access the live stream, visit www.awakenedlivingsf.org. Do you want to transform your life's trauma and challenges into the gift that your life was meant to be? It's time for you to take control of your soul journey to heal, grow, and shine. Manifest your destiny with Wendy Wolf, soul transformer, energy, and psychic healer. To start your soul journey, contact Wendy at healgrowshine.com or email Wendy at wendy@wendyrwolf.com and start your adventure today.
Tune in to The Truth is Funny with Colette Steffen each Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This hit show will have you thinking outside the box and riding the wave of infinite potential. Join Colette on the Higher Self Network, inspiring listeners to shine their brilliance and ensure success while roaring with laughter as they recognize the humor of the giant cosmic joke. Visit thetruthisfunny.com.
The Doctor is in. Tune in to the hit show, The Psychic Love Doctor, with host Deborah Lee. Deborah's life-affirming, highly perceptive reading method has taught Deborah how to zero in on specific problems with relationships, career pursuits, and current roadblocks to success and happiness. Join Deborah Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific, and for a special broadcast the second Thursday of every month at 11 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Nice, Benny. Welcome back, everybody. I'm so thrilled to be introducing you to Kelly Wadler, the host of Shine On Radio with Kelly, Find Your Shine. You know, right now, before we go in and talk about emotional eating, if we can take a minute, I am so excited about your upcoming show. It starts October 12th. Tell us a little bit about it. Tell us when you're on. And people are going to want to know how to find out more about you. What's the best way for people to do that?
Well, awesome. So we're still in talks of when it's actually going to be, but it's coming up in the next couple of months, so stay tuned to that. You can find out all about me, Shine On Radio, and Shine On Movement at shineonwithkelly.com. So pretty much that's spelled just as it sounds, shineonwithkelly.com. And Shine On Radio is going to be, yes, this celebration of finding your shine. Each show is going to be dedicated to interviewing really powerful people I'm connected with and a lot of entrepreneurs as well on how they're finding their shine and what we can take from them to learn how we can implement that in our own life. So again, yeah, lots based on the topics of body positivity, nourishment, self-acceptance, and then some really brilliant kick butt people who are going to be on the show to talk about that. So again, shineonwithkelly.com, and we're going to get that all set up soon for finalizing when we're going to be airing.
Awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about emotional eating for a minute.
Yeah.
A term that, many years ago, maybe we would not have heard. We may not have heard that. And today, we're hearing it left and right. I would love for you to talk about it, why you relate to it so much, and what kinds of things you do to help people that are really stuck in the middle of emotional eating.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. When I bring up emotional eating or what that is, especially to my own clients, it's sometimes this huge revelation of, wow, that's a thing. I didn't even know what I was doing or experiencing was, classified as an issue that a lot of people deal with. And that starts too for me when I was in my teens. I was a dancer, and what happened with really, which kicked off many of my body image challenges, was I broke my foot, or I got a big stress fracture in my foot, and I was a dancer that was dancing, 7 days a week, hours on end. And as anyone can attest who was an athlete or a gymnast or a skater when they are a young person, sometimes, puberty gets pushed off. And for me, that was the case. I got this stress fracture. I had to get off my foot, and almost instantaneously, overnight, I grew this body, this very womanly body, chest, hips, you name it. My mom always laughs, like I went from, an A cup to like, you don't even want to know, overnight. She didn't even know what to do. So with that and all the emotions of having this new body that I wasn't ready for, I didn't accept it. And especially as a dancer, I did not want it, because in my head that meant I couldn't be the dancer I wanted, because I hadn't seen what a dancer body looks like, and that was no longer mine. So before I knew what emotional eating even was, I remember in high school, after, I really stopped dancing because of this injury and I felt, left out or whatnot, I would come home and I would go to the pantry. And we were a diet food household, so it wasn't even like I was, binging on Doritos or anything.
Right.
But we had, Snackwells and Weight Watchers this, and I would go home and eat. No one was home, and I would eat, and to the point where I was overly full, and in a moment I felt better, only to feel awful about myself once that food high left. And it's a vicious cycle. So before I knew what emotional eating was, that's what I was doing, and a lot of people are doing the same. And a lot of clients come to me and they're like, they say, well, I'll just come home, and all of a sudden, the bag of chips is gone and I feel horrible about myself, and I'm not even, aware that I'm doing it. It's sometimes a completely mindless thing that we're doing. So to give a little bit of a background about emotional eating so we understand what it is, it's pretty much a cover-up, right? So something you feel is going on, or something triggers a feeling that maybe isn't comfortable to deal with. So if you're dealing with the feeling that you're not enough and something reminds you of that, like, you didn't get the job and you found out via email, and right away, maybe without knowing, you feel this, well, of course I didn't get it because I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. Whatever comes into your head, a lot of those emotions are very challenging to sit with for many of us. And there's no shame in that, because we don't know better most of the time. And we feel these things and we want to cover them up. We want to not feel them anymore. And food happens to be one of the most easiest or easily accessible ways to do that. That's not as taboo as, well, I'm going to go to the bar, or I'm going to do this drug, So for, many people, food becomes the drug.
Right.
And, when they're feeling whatever way, they come, they get the food, and eat the food to the point where they're not even thinking about it until that feeling's gone.
Right.
And for a moment, we're like feeling good. We're in this blissful, pretend bliss phase, only to then come out of it and be like, what did I just do? And then the cycle starts again, and we feel guilty and shameful about what we just ate and what we just did, and then that starts a whole other emotional eating cycle. So,
well, part of this, though, too, is we are now getting into this habit, so to speak. And what I mean by, getting into this habit, it's like we're getting into this place where, we are doing things so automatically, right? We're at this place where we can, I don't know about you, but the level of emotional eating that I've experienced is, you can sit down, and have a bag of potato chips, and most people will take a couple of chips and they'll be done. But when you are sort of in this zone, of comfort, you just don't have a bowl of ice cream. You eat the whole half gallon, right? I mean, isn't this sort of the kind of thing where you're not necessarily aware of the magnitude of what's going on?
Absolutely. And, I find, I don't know if this is scientifically true, but I'm going to make a good assumption that a lot of emotional eaters have also dealt with yo-yo dieting in their life. So when we go for, or we're in that emotional eating state, it is usually the foods that are going to comfort us that we have usually said we're going to swear off. So, it's the ice cream or the potato chips, and it's these open-ended situations that don't have an ending. So, for the emotional eater or, a person who binge eats, having a bag of chips, a big bag of tortilla chips in front of them with, it's hard to stop. It's hard to stop. You don't realize how much you're eating, usually. I know that to be true for myself.
Right.
I have to be very mindful of that. So, yes, absolutely. When you're in that state, just like a drug-like trance, we tend to not realize how much we just ate until we're out of that trance. And then we're like, wow, what happened to the Ben & Jerry's pint? Like, I ate that whole thing? Right. So then you're left with the empty Ben & Jerry's pint, and then now a guilt from eating the Ben & Jerry's pint, plus the feeling that wasn't healed anyway by the food. So whatever you felt originally didn't get healed, wasn't fixed by any means. So now it's just a whole barrage of yucky feelings and usually a very upset tummy.
Yeah, exactly. And, part of this is really looking at our lives and then seeing what we can do about it. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Kelly about, this is what's going on, but what can we do about it? And we're getting ready to give one of you something exciting from the show today. It's a 5-day body love reboot. When we come back, Kelly's going to tell us all about that. And we're going to open up the phone lines and we'll go from there. But the next part of this is, all right, now, how do we inspire women to feel amazing in their skin? It's a huge part of this movement. And how does it help us with this thing that goes on? How does Kelly help her clients with this process so they can live their best lives? This and much more. Hey, if you've got questions for us, 1-800-930-2819. 1-800-930-2819. We'll be right back.
There was a time I used to look into my father's eyes. In a happy home, I was a king, I had a golden throne.
Shine On Radio. Find Your Shine with Kelly is the show that celebrates what makes you, you. Join co-hosts Kelly Wadler and Dr. Pat Basili as they break down how to brilliantly fuel and move your body and love what makes you shine. Kelly is a professional arts and wellness coach dedicated to helping brilliant women find their confidence, energy, self-love, and shine. Tune in to Shine On Radio with Kelly and find your shine on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Transformation Talk Radio is dedicated to the education and awareness of Lyme disease.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to Lyme Talk Radio. I'm Dr. Pat, joined here by
Dr. Nusheen Darvish.
Dr. Pat Basili and Dr. Nusheen Darvish will be bringing the most innovative, groundbreaking information, research, treatment innovations, and stories from those it affects every day.
I'm so excited to be talking about this.
We have so much to share.
Dr. Darvish and I are planning to do is connect the dots.
People suffering with all sorts of chronic diseases, it's time. It is time for them to transform.
Tune into Lyme Talk Radio and help keep our mission strong.
For the loyal listeners out there that have been listening to this incredible show on Lyme disease, we are not going to let you down. We're going to come through stronger and enrich the platform for Lyme disease awareness through Lyme Talk Radio. The message will continue, the conversations will become stronger, and the healing epic.
Have you been seeing numbers like 111 and 222 everywhere you go? Do you feel that the universe may be trying to get your attention, perhaps offering a message of some sort? As it turns out, numerical patterns and certain types of geometry form the very fabric of our reality, from cells under a microscope to the astronomy of our night sky. At Stellar Reflections, we offer special sessions which tap into these patterns, designed specifically to support you on your journey. The 111 and 222 activations are sessions activating new patterns in your energy field, which in turn can help you create new patterns in your life. After just one session with a practitioner, either in person or via distance, clients report gaining greater clarity, becoming more intuitive, and honoring their inner truth as they move forward in their lives. Curious about what these transformational sessions might do for you? Call 425-999-9836 or visit stellarreflections.com. That's stellarreflections.com.
Holistic Medical Center is where you find it all. A healthy space with doctors who care, see, and listen to the whole you. During the month of October, Dr. Darvish and the Holistic Medical team are promoting Breast Cancer Awareness Month with 25% off breast thermography. Safe, painless, radiation-free, and accurate. Purchase your breast thermography screening for 25% off now until October 31st to receive this special. Visit drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
Now the memories on the wall, I hear the songs from the places where I was born.
Love that song. Love that song. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah. This is part of the Shine On movement. And how do I know that? Because I got Kelly in the house. Before we get back to the conversation about what is the solution, we have the solution right here. Kelly is giving away her 5-day Body Love Reboot. Now, before we go right to the phone lines, tell us what this is, because that is, this is like a $250 value. So tell us about this.
Yeah, so as a person who specializes in her practice with emotional eating and mindful eating and intuitive eating, all my reboots have body, mind, and soul aspects to them because I don't want to put programs or reboots or cleanses or detoxes on any of my clients and make them feel like they're deprived by any way, because that doesn't heal our relationship to food. So this is a body love cleanse. So pretty much it's all written out for you in 5 days of really delicious eating, whole foods, lean proteins, with a recipe list and a shopping list. And more importantly, it comes with mindful meditations and tips of, how maybe what exercise or physical activity might work well within the plan, and just a whole encompassing 5-day reboot that's not just about what you're taking away from your diet. And hopefully at the end, the winner is going to feel pretty awesome for their start of fall. And on top of the 5-day write-out of handouts and pamphlets for this reboot, you're also going to get a 2-hour powerful coaching conversation with me where we can get you ready for the reboot and also just talk about what might be in your way or what you want to work on to live your most celebratory best life.
Wow. I love, love, love what you're doing. I love what you're doing. And so this is really the door opening for one of you out there. And what I want to say for you guys out there, you're going to get to connect with Kelly directly. Let's give it Benny, first caller, 1-800-930-2819. 1-800-930-2819. Okay, Kelly, we always love to focus on the solution. If we're going to talk about an issue, a tissue issue, we're going to talk about a solution, aren't we?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, part of this is looking at our bodies, looking at our body image. But you refer to something. I got to get to this because this is a good one. I relate to this. You refer to something called an inner bully.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
there's a lot of chit chat out there in the world about bullying, but inner bully, OMG, please tell us about that because I can hear myself. And I can hear myself at a very young age, really beating myself up. So let me give you an example. I am part of a family. There are 3 of us girls, right? Actually, there are 4 of us girls. My sister was quite older, but there were 3 of us about the same age. And I had 2 beautiful, beautiful stepsisters. So I always saw myself as the ugly duckling. And it's really interesting how that gets embedded in our consciousness. And boy, I'll tell you, it's taken a lot of years for me to figure that out. But you go through life and you pick these things up along the way. And it may start out with a little, Kelly, how about a little criticism? But before you know it, you are beating yourself to a pulp. Tell us about this inner bully. And how does our society fuel the flame of bullying within us?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a big heart of the mission is in order to celebrate who we are, we have to come make peace with this inner bully. And I can describe this inner bully as a voice that is usually screaming at me, or most people who I work with or come into contact with, that they're just very hard on themselves. And this is how I describe it, that there's this bully, and the bully has, one of those megaphones that maybe we are familiar with at school or on the football field, or that cheerleaders use or whatever, and that bully will scream. And there's an equal and opposite voice that's just not as loud. And I call her my best friend or my goddess or my inner goddess. And she's always there and she's always saying, you don't have to listen to that. I'm not going to scream, though. I'm not going to scream so you can hear me. I'm right here. I think you're great. I think whatever. So a lot of the times it's, okay, so I hear this bully brain voice, but it's choosing the other voice in your head. And sometimes I refer that to my clients that start to feel better about who they are. And they say, you're helping me. And I was like, I always say, well, I'm just helping you put a microphone to the voice that's always been there to treat you well, that's always loved you, that always has always wanted to see you succeed and feel your best. So just like a toddler, that screaming bully voice that tells us we're not good enough or we're not skinny enough or pretty enough or smart enough, if you tell it to go away or stop crying or stop moaning, it usually cries louder to get what it wants.
Yeah.
So
yeah, screaming.
It's screaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So instead of saying, shut up, I don't hear you, blah, 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 because then it tends to scream, as we just discussed. It's more of a, okay, thank you for sharing, bully brain. I hear you. I know how you feel. You've made that very clear. But I'm going to choose to think otherwise. And does this happen overnight? No. Unfortunately, it doesn't. But slowly but surely, by learning to rewire these negative thoughts and deal with our emotions in more constructive ways that are kinder to ourselves, do we start to hear the best friend voice more clearly, more loudly, and we start to believe her or him more than the bully. And we talk about bullying a lot, as you mentioned. And one of my big parts, the driving forces of this movement, is not only the adult coaching practice that I have, which works to heal a lot of these voices that we learned as a child, but then also go into school systems and talk to our youth about the importance of not bullying ourselves. Because the root of bullying other people is if you don't feel good about who you are. So instead of talking about how we can cut out bullying all the time in schools, Shine On Movement is also dedicated to getting into schools and talking about the importance of loving who you are, accepting who you are, taking care of who you are, and loving the skin that you're in. So I guess my recommendation for the first step of really healing this bully within is, one, recognizing it, almost putting a face or a name or a creature or however you want to visualize it in your head to tame it, and decide today, okay, bully brain, I hear you, I've heard you for years on end, but I'm going to choose to start, slowly but surely, make peace with you. I want to do it today. And slowly you will. We will. It'll come back to play, but by doing the self-work and starting to listen to your best friend voice, the more confident you'll feel, the more risks you'll take, the less scared of fear you'll be, because, fear is, it's part of life, and that's okay, and going past it. Because at the end of the day, why not? Why spend all that time being ruled by this voice when there's a whole life to live?
Wow.
It's kind of a waste, right?
Right. No, it's not only a waste, but it's like one of the things that you also do, and I want to talk with you about this when we come back. I mean, the Shine On movement is a Shine On movement for a reason. And, it's taking what we can learn, moving past an obstacle, but then shine on. And that doesn't mean focusing on maybe what a disorder we have or something like that. It's about our whole life, Kelly. Right. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, you're going to talk a little bit with us about what is the whole movement about, and then what is your radio show going to bring to the forefront? You've got some guests scheduled. It's going to be rocking. Thank you. We're going to take a short break, everybody. We'll be right back.
Calling all dreamers. Are you living your dream life? Actualize your possibilities with Life Coaching Radio and your host, Deb Stetzer. If you're feeling stuck in a rut, Deb is here to help you turn your dreams into a reality. Life Coaching Radio. Dream it, live it, be it. To learn more about Deb, visit www.mylifecoach.us. Are you feeling broken from your relationships? Are you second-guessing yourself about friends, family, and lovers? Tune in to the hit show that's creating a buzz in the love-seeking community. Love Seeker Radio, finding love for your authentic self with renowned love coach Heather Lynn. Tired of dissatisfying relationships? Kiss them goodbye and power up your love seeker energy. Coach Heather Lynn reminds you that you can just be you, the beautiful and perfect you. Visit heatherlynncoaching.com to learn more.
We Carry the Light with host Dr. Susan Allison is the show that inspires you to find the light within and shine your light in the world. You'll hear from guests who model how to be the highest, brightest, most evolved, fulfilled, and conscious humans possible. Tune in each Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com and let Dr. Susan help you discover that you carry the unique light that only you can shine.
The The new era of financial planning is upon us, where it is just as important to focus on your inner wealth game as it is your outer wealth game. Wouldn't you like to be in the forefront of this new groundbreaking financial movement? Lynn Brown, award-winning financial planner, energy coach, and international radio host, will share real, actionable money wisdom infused with empowering tips, fear-busting exercises, and money-growing magnetism. Aren't you ready to create your fully financially healthy life? Join Lynn for this free 2-hour full-spectrum financial planning workshop in Bellevue, Washington on October 8th or October 13th from 6 to 8 p.m. Space is limited and will fill up fast, so call Lynn today at 425-372-4749. That's 425-372-4749. Light food and beverages will be included. See you there! Let the transition begin. Tune in to the hit show, Majestic Insights Radio, Success for Life's Transitions, with host Carrie Keith. Carrie is a gifted intuitive coach, healer, and teacher who will lead you through her empowering techniques of ancient wisdom and awareness so you can live your happiest, healthiest, and most vibrant life. Let Carrie teach you the tools of transformation that will help you experience success for all of life's transitions. To learn more about Carrie, visit www.majesticinsights.com.
Wow, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Kelly, it's so great to have you joining us here today. Again, let's make sure folks know how to get a hold of you. What's your website? Also, let us know the date for your radio show and the time and so forth. Please, social media for sure.
Oh, yeah. In this age of social media, it's a big deal. So absolutely. Again, we're finalizing the date and time of the show, but it's coming. Stay tuned. You'll know very soon. And in order to stay in touch with me and find out when exactly that show will be coming, check me out. My website is shineonwithkelly.com. If you want to email me, all you got to do is Kelly with a Y at shineonwithkelly.com. My social media, if we're talking Facebook, check me out on Shine On Wellness. Give me a follow. I put lots of what I call Shine-spiration up there every day. And on Instagram and Twitter, it's the Shine On Girl. And in this new one, Periscope starting, I haven't done a show yet, but it's the Shine On Girl as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, one of the things I want to say is we have a great item that you gave away to folks today. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is, how we get into the solution. I have a question that came in from a parent which said, thank you so much for this show today. I am a parent of a daughter that is exactly where you are talking about. And I don't think she likes herself very much. And it does show up in eating. I feel guilty not letting her eat the things she wants to eat. Oh boy, this is a good one. I don't even know. Good. Where do you want to start with that?
Wow. That's such a beautiful question with so much weight to it again. And I honor you and I thank you for sharing that, your story and that question. And I really, really resonate with that. And I really, really resonate with, I don't know your daughter, but I feel like I was very much in her shoes. So let's start with this. Our relationship to food, especially as women, is very confusing. I don't know you personally, and I don't know your relationship to food, but if you experience dieting back and forth, my big idea is, can we be the generation of women that are going to teach our daughters how to have a healthy relationship to food and our body? And so what does that mean? So, right, I understand your concern as a mother that maybe, she doesn't feel well and maybe you see that coming out with food. But I think the best place to start in establishing healthy relationships to food is let's nix dieting and talk more about nourishment and nutrition and the power of food being that we are what we eat. And if we can build a foundation or understanding that food is, what becomes our hair and our nails and our cells and how we think, our thoughts and who we are, then food becomes a much more spiritual thing. And that if we are, as a mother or future mothers or aunts or fathers or uncles or whatever, or role models, nannies, you name it, if we can start showing our youth what it means to eat mindfully and nutritiously. And that is different for everybody, but I can say, I'm no expert dietitian, but that would look like chewing our food, drinking lots of water, vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, home cooking, that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. And if you could set yourself as the mom role model that your relationship for food is, I eat to make me feel like a strong, powerful woman, and you relay that onto her, that's a great place to start.
Yeah.
And the same thing with your body. I also say when I give talks, what if mommy is always beautiful? What if mommy looks at the mirror and it's not, I look so fat in this dress? Even if you're feeling that way or your bully is saying, you look so fat in your dress, can we not let our daughters see that? Could we show our daughters, doesn't mommy look beautiful in this dress? What a difference, right?
It is a huge difference. And, part of this is getting into the practice of knowing exactly what to say or how to say it, and to do it in a way where, it doesn't seem like, for so many people, it seems like it's such a stretch. I mean, it seems like, for folks, how do I go from, what did we call it, Kelly? Loathing and bullying to loving. And that's the body of work that you do, isn't it? And I'm excited about your upcoming radio show. Tell us about some of the guests you're going to have.
Yeah, so I'm out of New York City, and right now this is a thriving area for young entrepreneurs, which are coming from this very divine feminine place of mindful businesses, very stepping into their shine. A lot of people who are taking the challenge that they had in their life and creating some beautiful company based on that. So I have a lot of fellow entrepreneurs who are I'm going to be interviewing, and they're going to really inspire us to step into our own shine, as well as a lot of people in my tribe who have really taken their challenges and made something for themselves and followed their true calling in spite of them, and use them to celebrate who they are, which is really exciting. So yeah, again, lots of body positivity, tips on nourishing yourself, and most importantly, how to accept and celebrate who you are.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Well, thank you for a fabulous, fabulous show today, and for what you're getting for the radio show you're getting ready to do, and most importantly, for taking a message of hope and action out into the world. Kelly, I've got one last question. Please tell me, if you could, please tell me, what's your personal message? What would you like to leave us with?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we all have to think about why we're really here. I know it's a weighty question, but whatever whispers you have in your ear that you really want to do and you know that you're good at and that really make you feel alive, that's your shine. And I think if there's one thing I could leave you with is dare to go for it.
I've got it. Please give us your Facebook, give us your website one more time. Thank you for today.
Absolutely. You can all follow me at Shine On Wellness on Facebook, at the Shine On Girl on Twitter and Instagram. And my website is a happy little place where we all shine, and that is shineonwithkelly.com. You'll get to see a lot of real faces of my beautiful clientele of empowered females. So come and check me out. And then if you want to email me, it's kelly@shineonwithkelly.com. I thank you, Dr. Pat, and your wonderful viewing audience, and Benny, of course, for this opportunity. And I'm wishing everyone a huge shine on.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. We're going to take a short break. And you know what? We are not going very far. We'll be right back with the show.